I've pressed record.
Crikey.
Wait, did you do it again? Have you clicked record before I've even said it? Again.
Yeah. Catch up, Granddad.
We've had a good morning so far, haven't we?
We have had a good morning. We've had an interesting morning. Worlds are colliding.
Yeah, the collision happened, and now we're over here again.
Yeah, I think if anybody's listening to this, they probably heard the thing that we maybe haven't just listened to, but they probably have heard what we just did.
Yeah, it's likely.
And if it isn't, this makes no sense. But
yeah.
I won't go into detail. We just finished recording a crossover episode, we'll call it, for our previous, still current, but previous thing.
Yeah, the one that we put 100% into.
The one that shot us to fame.
But now it doesn't do that.
Well, those three guys in Sri Lanka, they know us.
Ah, yeah. But and Helen from Accounts. We've got a we have some other podcasts going on. And one of them, your great idea last week, which was, shall we do a Ghost Stories episode for the other podcast that links it? So the other podcast was the Florida Podmen, and we did Ghost Stories from Florida. Yeah. So we're already suitably haunted. Apparently,
we're warmed up. Our voices are in fine form already. We're not that early Saturday morning croakiness that we have some. Well, I do.
I think I found a reason to buy some new headphones.
You've grown a third ear.
Every now and then I can hear a crackle in this ear. So hopefully that isn't on here, and it's only in ear. Fair enough.
Welcome, everybody. Apparently Haunted is the name of this year podcast. If you're looking for financial advice or anything to do with Premier League football, you've come to the wrong place.
Yes, we know very little of it either.
If you've come to hear a Canadian and a Yorkshireman make crap up on the fly and not be very prepared and talk about ghosts and haunted places and have fun, yes.
If you were to put your life into a pie chart, how much of it do you think was made up on the spot? It's got to be a lot, hasn't it?
80%.
Yeah, I might even go 90. The amount of stuff that we're scripted or planned to say. I mean, this is not a question that I want answering immediately.
This is some existential stuff going on here, man.
Isn't that weird, though? If you were to say how much... Do you know what? I had I didn't enjoy what was happening with it. Let me tell you the story. I was on a beach. There were pebbles on a beach. And I was thinking, I saw a really nice stone. Actually, I'll make it a little bit more explicit. It was a skimming stone. The most beautiful, flat-surfaced, great.
Nice.
And I enjoy a skim.
You know what they call them in Scotland? You know what they call us in Scotland? It's a perfect name. A skiter.
Nice.
Skiter. Anyways, sorry about you and your sexy stone.
It was beautiful, but you see, the thing is, I'm at the beach. I don't want to be thrown into the sea because even though it's not great, the waves are going to rock that bastard. You'll take
what could be a 9 to like a 6, maybe, or a
5 or it flips into one wave and it's 2.
Waste. Much like our talent, wasted completely.
But also, I'm there. I'm in the moment, right? So I think to myself, I'm basically struggling with this dilemma, right? And I looked down at it, and I looked down at all of the other pebbles, and I thought, God, what if your OCD was to collect as many stones from around everywhere, right? You'd just not stop, would you? You'd just be constantly picking up stones. And it made my mind go really weird. Like, I felt a bit weak.
You'd learn to appreciate your pockets. Good stitching.
I mean, the thing is, what do you do? What's the natural progression of starting this bad habit? The natural progression is seeing a beautiful stone and then trying to look for more beautiful stones. And then
No,
you
you
see
turn into one of those weird stories where like Yorkshireman marries a rock. You know what I mean?
Well, you go.
The sub headline is "We're quite happy."
You go. Actually, what I'll do is my list doesn't need to be beautiful stones anymore. It needs to be round stones. So you keep adding and adding and adding, and before you know it, you spend your life on a beach picking up stones all the time.
How did we start talking about this?
I don't know.
You're talking about life being scripted and planned, and what percentage of your life is planned, and you've planned to gather stone.
Listen, you don't have.
I think it was
to.
the famous movie actor and part-time singer John Lennon. I think his quote was, "Life is what happens when you're busy making plans." It's pretty deep. It wasn't in a lyric. It wasn't. It's not. Obla di obla da. Although I think that was Paul McCartney.
What was it that Ferris Bueller said? Life.
Choose life. That's
Look, no, do you know? Anyway, so that's it. That was my. I think if you were wanting to know what deepness was, it's got to be collecting stones. But I do like a skimmer. I had a business idea once to stand at a lock, because I think a lock is a flat body of water, perfect for skimming. And I would have bags of 10 stones, sell them for 20 or 30 pence, and make a foot. Can you imagine being at a beach in Scotland?
And I could be in the lock with my diving gear, and I could, like, collecting golf balls. I could go retrieve those perfect skiters and bring them back. And if you can recycle it, it's good for the planet.
If it worked out well, that was a 9er, 10 or 11. You go, I want that one again. Kev,
perfect.
Could you get? It's
that's the end
blue.
of apparently.
It's got a bit.
We've got a better business idea. We're out of here.
Right. Okay. Well, we're not going to do it. So I like that. That's that kind of thing that Carl Pilkington says. He's got an idea for something that's stupid, and Ricky Gervais pokes fun of it all the way, and then Carl will just go, "Right, we'll not do it then." As if it was something they were about to do, like was it like a thumbnail on your forehead?
Yeah. We'll just not do it. Like you actually could.
Yeah. It's like, right, we'll just not do it then. We're not bothered. Brilliant. Right, are we ready?
I am.
Me too. What do? We tell ghost stories. We enjoy telling ghost stories. We might not necessarily believe them though. So what we need to do is get enough information to try and convince us. And then after we've told our stories, we'll see if we were convinced. That's about the long and short of it, right?
Short and long of it. Yep.
Right.
What does that mean? What does that mean? The long and the short. The long version and the short version of it?
In the same. So does that sum it up without being too vague or too
But it wouldn't
specific?
be the short version, because the short version wouldn't include the long version, but the long version with some editing would include the short version.
What we're saying
you just told the long version of it.
Is that okay? Do you understand? That's what we'd say up here in north.
I'll read. That's what we'd say up here in the northeast.
Right. Who's going first today?
I'll let you decide. You can delegate or you can go for it.
Go on, I'll go first then. Okay. I've got a problem with this one because
Is it shit?
No. Actually, this one for me has everything about it is perfect. It should be a movie.
Violence,
this one.
nudity.
Well,
Pierce
there isn't
Brosnan.
either of those things. If anybody has listened to the other podcasts, I sometimes struggle with accents, names written in
especially Spanish and Mexican.
Yeah. This is a Welsh one, right? So I don't know, even if I phonetically pronounce this, it probably isn't this, right?
This is worth the price of admission alone.
It's a farm.
Okay.
Farmhouse.
Pronounce that. You got that so far so good.
Right. Here we go. Heol Fanog. Heol. Well, how are you saying this then? Heol. How are you saying?
Heol. Heol. That's
right. Hang
Swedish.
On. Wait there. I'm sure Google can.
Oh yeah, it'll tell you how to say it. I'll put it on my. We'll do it. Where's our digital assistant Steven? We haven't had him in a few years. We'll bring him back.
Right. I'm gonna write this into the thing.
How you spell it? Heol.
Heol.
Fanog. right?
Yeah, Heol. Fanog.
You're getting closer.
Heol. How to pronounce? Well, don't you need to tell it that it needs to be in Welsh as well? Heol. Fanog.
Hang on.
Heol Fanog.
Heol Fanog.
Heol Fanog. Be a good idea for a character name, that. Heol Fanog. Anyway, this is it's
This
a
better
remote...
not be 55 minutes of us saying Heol Fanog.
Yeah. It's a remote farmhouse in the Brecon Beacons. Actually, a couple of years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, we went to the Brecon Beacons and camped there. Anyway, that's that story done. I'm going to talk to you about the Rich family. Now, then, that's not a description. That is their actual name, like Bill and Liz Rich.
Okay.
William and Elizabeth Rich. This is 1989, and they relocate. Liz is pregnant with their first child, and this is it. This is their setup. I don't know if they were farmers, but they've moved into this remote farm.
Heol Fanog.
So that's 1989, and between then and 1995, hauntings happen. They've not been in that long before they have a series of unexplained phenomena. I'll go through what the hauntings in a moment. Then 1995 comes around, and they've decided to get an exorcism in with the assistant. I love this. After enduring years of torment, we'll get to it. The Rich family seeks the assistance of Eddie Burks. Ready for this?
He sounds like Britain's strongest man, doesn't he?
Yeah, Eddie Burks, renowned exorcist. Can you imagine that business card? Right, I'll tell you how that works. Right, how it pans out in a moment. Yeah, just something about the Riches. So we've got Bill. He's an artist, and his work becomes increasingly dark and obsessive during their time at Heol Fanog. He spends lots of time in his studio. It's like in trance-like states as well. This is very movie-like, isn't it?
It's like Shining. It's like Shining when Jax just starts typing and it turns into gibberish and then all work no play. Blah, blah, blah.
It's The Shining is a great metaphor for a load of and a simile at the same time. Do you know this reminded me of? I didn't go straight to the Shining. I went to Amityville Horror because whilst that fella becomes obsessed with whatever's in the basement, this is the sort of thing that happens. Liz then, she happy-go-lucky Liz, and then she becomes our main witness. So a lot of the things that we're about to say come from her version of events. Lawrence, he's Larry. Now I'm calling him Larry. Bill's teenage son from a previous relationship. Okay. He also experiences. And then we've got Ben and Rebecca. Remember I said she was pregnant when she moved in. She has two. I don't think they're twins, but she has two. The couple have young children, both born whilst they're at Heol Fanog.
So they've got Larry, who's the half with the dad's kid, and then they together have two young children when they get there.
Yeah, there's 5 of them that will be doing this.
I'm just going to go get some decals made for the back of my cardinal stick figure family of this family. I just need to visualize it so I got it right.
Right. Ready for some of the stuff that happens?
Bring it. Yep.
Right. I've called this section Witness Accounts. And number 1 in the witness accounts is, wait for it, Footsteps and Touches.
That's a great name for a one of those massage parlors where they walk on your back.
I thought this was a good name for an album or maybe even a band. Family members report heavy booted footsteps, especially at what time of the day?
11 p.m.
Yeah, night. On one occasion, Liz feels an unseen hand gently touch her where?
Left buttock.
No, it was a forehead.
Oh. Close.
She has a big toenail on it. Apparitions. The family witnesses various ghost figures. There's some the classic hooded figure at the end
Like
of their
monk.
bed. This is
Sidious.
Have you got your haunted bingo card out? Because so we've had footsteps,
Yep, check.
forehead touch,
Mhm.
a hooded entity
Yes.
at the end of their beds.
Nowhere else.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. A man appearing injured, as if from an accident. Can you imagine me holding my fucking leg?
Have you been hurt in a haunting accident?
It sounds like
Call
Butterfield.
now. No win, no pay.
An old woman with a hooked nose.
Hmm?
We've done her before, haven't we? I mean that in the reporting sense.
We have discussed her before.
Yeah.
I think, again, kind of like your bingo card, kind of generic.
A wired-haired woman.
Correct.
She's in Disney. Now what they've done is they've kind of like said the old one with the hooked nose was actually later identified, presumably on a photograph, as the landlord's deceased mother. Right. So presumably photographs are used to say, yeah, that's the woman I saw. And where are those photographs? If they're in the house already, that's the sort of thing that can stick in your head, especially
Priming.
a hooked
Yep.
nose. You don't forget hook noses. Hey, this is
Or nose
another
hooks.
one.
Wasn't nose hooks what they did in Total Recall? And that was a probe up there.
Hey, I just read some information about the filming of The Running Man. Which is,
Edgar Wright's version.
That's right, yeah, and it's a lot like the book.
Nice.
Here we've got a new type of a type of haunting. Poltergeist. Tick.
Ooh.
Objects move inexplicably. I like the idea that an object might move explicably. Because it's moving along on the sideboard, and you just go, "That's okay.
Yeah.
We know we've explained that."
I moved it.
Yeah. Doors slam in empty rooms. So
I never heard of the wind.
the empty part of it doesn't prove one way or another. It's like, door slam. Was the room empty or full? And of course, temperatures drop suddenly. Some more things. Electrical disturbances.
Mm-hmm.
So this is one of those things where, when people say the room goes really cold.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this was different. The rooms go up, like the temperature in the rooms go up. So despite trying to conserve energy, they're getting these massive energy bills.
Maybe
And
the ghosts work for Big Oil.
yeah, yeah, the oil man. And of course, this is the last type. We'll not go into too much about this because you and I are animal lovers. That some of the animals within the farm have died, but there didn't seem to be a reason why they've died. They've done some kind of like, I guess, not research, but some investigation and descriptions into some of these sightings. The dark, shadowy figures, and they're kind of moving around the house. There's the hooded figure, as I mentioned, at the end of a bed. This is interesting that he's described as instilling fear and unease, but that's part and parcel of a hooded figure at the end of the bed, isn't it? It's not like, oh, Santa. And as I say, the injured man, the old woman with the hooked nose. There's a seductive spirit. Oh, do you know? This is something.
It's like
that
the
I've
cast.
always...
It's just like the movie Clue, based on the board game Clue or Cluedo. That's all it is. Like the hooked nosed woman in the salon with the injured man.
Yeah. There's a seductive spirit. Bill encounters the apparition of a beautiful woman who seemingly attempts to seduce him, leading to speculation about a succubus, a female demon believed to engage in such behaviour. Imagine if you were married to a succubus; it would be terrible.
Succubus.
And
Can you say I can't say succubus without smirking. I don't know why.
succubus?
I'm man child.
I
Wasn't
see
it Ghostbusters? Isn't it happening in Ghostbusters?
it's one of them, isn't it? They
Yeah. Sucking
Right.
a bus. I just think sucking a bus up through a straw. Succubus.
the dog that they have, the family dog, also exhibits some weird behaviour, like howling at the ceiling. And that's it. Right, okay, so what has been done in terms of research? So they consult various experts. When we started talking about the family, Bill, he becomes sort of obsessive and dark and, right, weird. They've sort of, the information that I've got here glances over that now. It forgets that it said that.
Okay.
Because that would be interesting to follow up. But they've asked for help from parapsychologists, the clergy, and then they get this exorcism, and it has a temporary relief, but then that doesn't work. Eddie Burke is called. The guy's called. Who was the guy that we did over at the rectory? Price. That's what his name, wasn't it? Something Price.
Yeah, he came up in one of my stories, I think. Yeah.
He's kind of like famous, in this kind of these circles. But it sounds like Eddie Burke was at the time like sort of a famous researcher, and he identifies a pre-Christian presence within the house. And so that's why he is happy to do the exorcism. I guess
not the paycheck.
No, that's right. Yeah. Here's some considerations that I think we'd need to make. The isolation and stress of rural life. You even see it on these, like Shining's a great example, but you see it on things that aren't so Hollywood, but people that are stuck on their own for ages, and then just start seeing things.
Stir crazy.
Yeah, great. So that's what I'm saying. There's financial strains, especially because the energy's gone up in the house as well. It's an old house, so drafts, creaky floorboards, all that sort of stuff. You'd expect that. You'd expect it if nobody was in, but if you put some people in, then it starts to move around as well. And anything to do with electricity, faulty wiring, and that could be again from it being a remote location, or a generator's not working, something like that. Right. So there were books, articles featured, and paranormal enthusiasts have visited it, but it is not open to the public. For people to go and have an investigate.
So it still exists as a...
Still exists, and it is
still live in it?
It's a private residence. That's right.
Okay.
People are in there. And so that is the story of Heol Fanog.
Sounds like you're speaking backwards.
Just
Thank you.
Heol.
Well, I think Welsh... I see Anthony Hopkins as playing Bill.
Yeah. Tom Jones.
Just the only Welsh people we know. Catherine Zeta-Jones is... What's her face? Right. Thank you. We'll have to go. We'll put that on the road trip. It's a bit out of the way, so that might not be in like the first round.
That's right. And also, it sounds like even if you got there, you're not going to be allowed in.
But I think...
Yeah. If we get somebody paying us or not even paying us, but like say, here's some money to make things happen, I'd love to go and see as many of these places, even if you can't get in.
You can pretend we're from the energy board. You've had a spike in electricity in your house. Can we come have a look, please? Okay, well, I guess I should probably, since I've made the effort to turn on my computer,
go for
tell a story. I am going to flip over to the United States of America. Have you heard of this place?
Hang on, that's the big one.
That is the big one.
Yeah.
Well, I think it is. And I'm going to talk about a federal penitentiary. In fact, one of the most haunted federal penitentiaries in the USA. And at time of recording, one of the few places that we have spoken about that I've been to.
Oh, right. Would this be Alcatraz?
It would be Alcatraz.
Nice. I love Alcatraz.
Yeah, have you been?
I've never been. It's one of those. I guess it's like a bucket list place, right?
Yeah.
I've got this. I don't know if it's somebody said it, or I could have dreamt it, but it was designed in such a way that if you look out from the bay, San Francisco Bay, it looks like a ship. It doesn't look like a nasty place. It looks like a pretty
maybe that's
place.
Why they do it, yeah. I always get to just introduce my story with "Welcome to the Rock," but I can't do it.
I don't think Sean Connery can do the accent either.
Because there's no sh in that sentence. Welcome to the Rock.
Alcatraz.
Welcome to Alcatraz.
Welcome to the Rock. Should have mailed it to the Marx Brothers.
Shall we bore them? We'll bore them with a little bit of history. It was established in the mid-19th century, a couple hundred years ago. Then became a military fortification called Fort Alcatraz. You know what Alcatraz means?
I don't.
Pelican.
Pelican.
Pelican, as in
like
as a bird.
Yeah. Now wait.
Like a pelican.
Place in Charlie. What's the name of the island in Benidorm where there's a birds on it? Is it Pelican Island? I think it might be Pelican Island.
Is Charlie like the Yorkshire version of Siri?
He's good. He's a boy who knows he never forgets things.
Oh, there you go.
Because that would excite a pedant, but I ain't one.
It was a military prison first, and then in 1934, because of the federal government, basically had somebody decide that because of the strong currents around the island and the cold water, that it was going to become like a maximum security federal prison because it was inescapable.
Yes.
Right.
Except
so in 29,
there was that time David Copperfield got out.
He did. Yeah. So maybe not so unescapable. Well, according to official records, actually, Alcatraz only was operating as a federal prison for it was less than 30 years. Only.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Nobody successfully escaped. 36 prisoners made 14 escape attempts, and two different guys tried twice. Out of those 36, 23 men were caught alive, 6 were shot and killed during their escape, 2 drowned, and 5 are listed as missing and presumed drowned. Did you ever watch Mythbusters, the TV show?
Yeah, there was a...
They did an Alcatraz episode where they actually break out of Alcatraz using these 5 guys that actually went missing.
I've seen another program which is all about the apparent... You remember the one that Clint Eastwood's story was based on?
Birdman of Alcatraz?
I don't know if it was the Birdman, but Clint Eastwood has an escape from Alcatraz, and he escaped with 2 other fellas. They were brothers, and they've always sort of said there's no proof that they ever survived this. So yeah, I guess they did escape, but not necessarily successfully.
Successfully,
I think that's the key.
Is the key word. Yeah. So prison closed in 1963 and became a tourist attraction straight away. Right in.
Brilliant, because that is going to make some money. That is going to make the cash.
Correct. We can't all be selling bags of stones at the side of a lot. So here's my topic here, my next section. I've called this initial weirdness.
I like the subtitles.
Yeah. So it basically, before they became a prison or anything like that, it was like Native Americans banished like wrong-uns. It was just a rock, literally a rock. They just sent the rock that have done bad things. This is 1600s, 1700s to the rock to kind of sit and think about what they've done. So because of that, it's always had this sense of it's got evil spirits floating around it. Obviously, many people died there.
Not a pleasant thing. Yeah.
Correct. The natives say it's filled with the energy of those who were banished there and seemingly never left for violating tribal law. So as it was in the early days, there was a lighthouse on there. This is kind of like
the lighthouse of Alcatraz.
The lighthouse of Alcatraz. So this is, I think the lighthouse was on there in like the mid kind of 19th century, but early 20th century, when it started operating as a prison, guards and visitors have reported that like the lighthouse would suddenly appear, like a ghost lighthouse. Bloop. Now it's probably foggy day and there's lights like on the actual land, like in San Francisco, shining.
Yes, easy, yeah.
There's reports of your friends and mine, orbs, glowing lights floating around, green orbs, flashing green orbs making its way around the island. Again, that might just be a boat with a flashing green light on it.
You did the one that you did the lighthouse, didn't you, the other day?
Yeah,
the other episode.
That was in. I think that was in Wales too. It wasn't.
But it was, yeah.
It wasn't.
It's
Heol or
Fanog.
Fanog.
I think the lighthouse just has that. You can tell me there's a ghost in there, and I'm like, yep, of course there is. It's a lighthouse. Yeah, it's got.
I was supposed to meet my dad at a lighthouse this morning up the coast from me.
You're supposed to meet your dad.
I was supposed to meet my dad. This morning. I was going to go out. My parents live about 3 miles up the coast from me in a place called Whitley Bay. And the very top end of Whitley Bay, there's St. Mary's Lighthouse, which is there's a causeway, and it gets kind of like Holy Island. It twice a day the causeway is covered by water. You can't get to it, so it's cut off. So I was going to meet my dad because I needed to deliver something to them, just for fun. Chris, what was I going to meet my dad at a lighthouse to hand him?
Was it a big bulb, like for the lighthouse?
No, my dad doesn't work at or for the lighthouse.
Right,
he just lives near the lighthouse.
So like not his lunch. Let me think.
Could be.
Was it a package of something?
It was.
Biltong.
Very close.
Jerky.
Parmesan cheese.
Oh, right.
Disappointing, I know. I went to Costco yesterday and grabbed some stuff and
Did
asked
you
my
say
parents if they needed anything.
Yeah, and he said I'd love a block of Parmesan.
You get a giant block. I mean, it's good value. It's good cheese too. It's 30-month aged Parmesan cheese.
I've probably not been doing family things proper for a while now.
I mean, I wouldn't classify handing Parmesan cheese to my dad as a family thing. I was going there anyways and asked if they wanted it.
I wouldn't know. I don't know if it is or not.
At the lighthouse with Parmesan. That's the worst version of Clue. Kevin the podcaster at the lighthouse with a block of Parmesan cheese.
Block.
Anyways, let's talk about some hauntings, shall we?
Okay, let's go. Yeah,
that's what we're here for. So there's been a bunch over the years. Now most of these hauntings happened. The ones I'm going to report while the prison was actually in operation in that kind of
really?
window. I mean, there's regular reports that guards reported a smell of smoke that would often come from the deserted laundry room from like the early days of the prison. Basically, it smelled like something was set on fire. But when they got there, there was thick smoke that you couldn't even enter the room. So they'd go and grab a fire extinguisher or something like that. But when they got back to the room minutes later, there was no smoke at all in the room. Weird. Again, I think what we're going to see here, kind of similar to your house guys in Wales. It's this isolation that does,
totally.
It just, the isolation does things. We talked about these weird desolate castles and lighthouses and all of that.
It's things that you just go. I'm on edge. What was it? Something that walked past was it something that moved or not? I tell you something that's really funny. You see a lot of videos doing this on like TikTok filters or Snapchat filters. I was sat in the garden. This was yesterday. Lovely day. She had 5 minutes. And out the corner of my eye, I became aware of movement on my shoulder. And I was like, well, no, I'm just making it up. I looked over. It's a bug. Now, I've got terrible eyes. So I couldn't... It was all blurred.
You've got lovely eyes, Chris.
Sorry. When I looked, everything was blurred. I couldn't see what it exactly was. But let's say it was the size of... It was tiny. It was like a size of something a little bit bigger than a ladybird, a ladybug. Okay, just crawling away from me, minding its own business. I was like, I'm not sticking around to find out if this is probably maybe this is the time that some toxic, poisoned thing has entered the country.
That didgeridoo that you purchased off Etsy has come with a huntsman spider attached to it or something like that. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. So I just flicked it. It's gone. I don't know what it was, but the point of this was, even though I wasn't staring at it, I became very aware that something was over there. Now, it could have been, let's say, a shadow, or maybe it was a fly or something. You go, I'm on edge already. I've looked over there. The thing's gone, but I think it were a bloke. I think it were a bloke. But it probably was just a bug on your shoulder.
I can't believe he flicked that. But poor bastard had no idea.
I wasn't waiting to find out if it would prefer a flick, like a kick up the arse.
That reminds me of a really bad joke, like a really bad kid's joke, but it's got a rude word in it, so maybe it's not a kid's joke. What's the last thing that went through that bug's mind as you flicked it?
Is it like the windshield of my car or something like that?
No, it's asshole. It's written. Anyways, right. Back to Alcatraz?
Yeah.
Right, we're going to come back to we're going to talk a little bit more about this guy in a minute, but while it was open as a prison, several guards reported hearing the sounds of sobbing and moaning, which, I mean, again, you'd see that in a prison. There's people that are somewhere between in isolation or, getting sodomized. Reports of terrible smells and reports of what they called the Thing.
Good God.
An entity that was said to appear with glowing eyes.
Amazing. I watched The Monkey the other day, and this thing, the kid looks out the window. It's a really lovely shot, and it's kind of, for ages, it's darkness, and then two eyes just appear, and the shot is almost too long. You wouldn't usually have had that long a shot for such a small payoff, but it's brilliant, and that's what I'm seeing here is like the thing.
Yeah.
With his what was his fucking eyes? What was it?
Glowing eyes.
Glowing eyes.
Yes. We'll have a quick chat about Warden Johnson. Now, this Warden Johnson. Jono, tough as nails, they say.
Yes.
And I suppose you have to be the warden of Alcatraz back in the 40s or whatever. Like it's it's like a modern day.
Hey, it's Jono. There's more merit. That was like my New York guy. Yeah. Maybe it was you just come over from New York.
He's a California guy. He's a surfer dude. Prison board. Hey,
dude. Hey, gnarly prison man.
So, Warden Johnson was giving a tour of the prison to guests that he had over. I guess because he had his warden's house was on the island, so I guess
of course,
people staying over at his house, and giving him a tour. And the guest heard the sound of a woman sobbing, and coming from inside the walls of the dungeon. And just as
dungeon,
dungeon. We'll call it like the hole. You know, they say the hole. We're gonna throw you in the hole, kind of thing. I think it probably was initially a dungeon. It's just like, because you think of it. I mean, back in castle days, I mean, the dungeon was like the basement, the basement jail, right?
Yeah, this is the thing. Is like you've got a prison on there, and then for like
you think
really
that's
bad things. Yeah.
So yeah, there's this woman sobbing coming from inside the walls, and basically every single time, like when the sobbing stopped, an icy cold wind would blow down the hallway.
I have the impression that it was only blokes on this island.
Well,
like when it was
a prison, I think it was male only, but this could have been one of the natives, maybe.
I suppose. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
She made some bad porridge, cornmeal things. Since the 1940s, basically this warden's house has been one of the most haunted places, but it burnt down after the prison closed down. Right. But while it was still his house, at a Christmas party, several of the guards reported that the room turned very cold again, and that a fire blew out on its own. Now, windy.
Exactly. Yeah, that's not uncommon for any house that's
The guards also say that a ghostly man suddenly appeared before them wearing a gray suit, a brim cap, and mutton chop sideburns. So they're thinking this is kind of more like Civil War times.
Yes.
When, again, it was initially founded as, in the sort of 19th century. The spirit hung around for a minute and then vanished. And then another former guard who worked at the prison in the 40s reported that guards often saw the ghostly presence of a man dressed in 1800s prison attire walking the hallway next to the strip cells, which I think is where they strip searched people. Guards have reported cannon fire, gunshots, screams. A lot of these guards, I guess, were ex-military, and they heard these like real gunfire and cannon fire, and they like took cover, thinking that they're under attack. But then all of a sudden, the sounds just stopped, and they investigate. There's nothing there, so it's like Phantom War stuff. We've got one inmate who was locked in the hole, or the dungeon as we'll call it, and he met the thing. He said this thing came out of the wall with glowing eyes. The guards, I think, this thing had become like an in-joke to the guards. They just, don't go, we'll get in the hole, the thing's gonna get you, that kind of thing. Anybody that's down in the hole, anybody, whether they're talking about the thing or not, any of the convicts down in the hole would scream because they're in solitary confinement, stripped naked, pitch black, all that stuff. So they'd be screaming all the time, and the guards just kind of got immune to it and just started, would just ignore those screams. But there was one occasion, the screaming continued through the night and then just kind of stopped. The guards inspected the cell in the next morning, and the prisoner was found dead with a contorted face and handprints around his throat.
So this is kind of
frozen
like
in
the
terror.
Ring. Yeah, in the Ring when they die with the face.
Correct. The autopsy revealed that the strangulation was not self-inflicted. Now, that could just be one of the guards gone down and just try to shut the guy up and choked him to death.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah,
could be the thing. Yes, I mean, even at the time, actually, they did say that the many believe that the inmate was strangled by a guard who'd had enough, but no one admitted to any of the strangling as you would. The next morning, or sorry, I guess later that day, after this convict had been killed, and they're kind of talking about the thing might be the one that did it.
Yeah.
Because I think the thing was an evil spirit that they're saying of it, like a 19th century prisoner, sure. But what they did the next later that day after this convict had died down in the hole is they lined all of the prisoners up in the yard for like head count, and they counted one too many convicts.
Amazing.
So let's say there's 17 guys supposed to be there. They actually, the 18th guy was dead and in the morgue. But when they actually did the head count that day, they actually counted 18 people.
But do you know, there's that bit in Home Alone where the kid from across the street kind of gets counted. It could just be that. It's just
correct.
Just a person.
What they basically call the warden out or something like that, and in the commotion while everybody's chitter chattering, when the warden came out, they did the recount again, and there was the correct number of convicts. So either they miscounted or they're saying that this extra convict that was the ghost of the guy disappeared.
That is the reason why you do like the count about 3 times, isn't it?
Exactly.
I sometimes get to like say 20. And I forget if I've done 20 and 21. I just always do it. There's 20, but is that 1 or is that 2? 20.
12T.
Yeah.
Al Capone. Heard of this guy?
The big guy, the tax guy.
Yeah, Scarface.
Taxman.
He was in Alcatraz. He was there for a few years, like 5 years or something like that. So now I think this is one of those things that has only been reported on because it's what all the tour guides have to say, because people associate Alcatraz with Capone. What they say is that they weren't allowed any like music. There was no radios or anything. Like, it was a harsh prison, right? So there's no kind of perks or anything like that. And Al Capone loved music. And when he eventually got out of Alcatraz, moved back to Chicago. That's the Chicago way. There's another Sean Connery.
Yeah.
He learned the banjo. And to this day, there are still sounds of mysterious banjo string near Al Capone's cell. So he never had a banjo in the prison. It was after he got released from it, he got the banjo. But the ghost of Al Capone flew to Chicago from over to San Francisco with his banjo, ghostly banjo.
And to this day.
Yeah. Right. We're gonna one more. We'll talk about the butcher of Alcatraz.
Amazing.
So we're in the laundry room. This is the same laundry room apparently where the smoke from earlier, where there was thick as smoke, and then they came back. And there was no smoke. This is cell block C, for those that are keeping track at home. This cell block, the kind of like your house, the doors slamming all the time. When this,
of course.
This is when. This is like nowadays kind of thing. The prison's obviously no prisoners, so the doors are unlocked, so they apparently slam.
Although, to give some sort of, we're not going to write everything off, but I imagine doors slamming on Alcatraz, they're going to be big old doors, right? That's what they're made. They're going to be a bit more difficult for the wind to do, so
correct.
Maybe there's something in that.
But in a regular door, like your doors in Wales, ghosts can go through those doors. Right? Ghosts go through shit.
They don't need handles, yeah.
But in prison, it's it's bars. So you go. I could almost get through that, right? Ghosts are gonna have a really easy time. So they're gonna slam a door. Or they're gonna just go right through it, and not even make a noise.
Yeah, that's right.
So in the 90s, I think it's the 90s, CBS News, they brought in a team to investigate some of the hauntings. This is actually on the CBS News reports, one of those BBC investigates kind of thing. A celebrity psychic. I mean. We've had celebrity psychics before.
We know.
Sylvia Brown. Apparently.
Oh, I recognize that name.
Yeah, she writes books, I think. Yeah. And an ex-convict from Alcatraz, a guy called Leon Thompson. So this psychic, she got the impression of violence in the laundry room, and she describes a tall man with a bald head and small beady eyes. This is live on the news. Now, one of the things that we're going to bump into a lot is the things that these psychics say. It's not like they've come up with this as a eureka moment, and then upon further investigation, it's it's like, no, this has all been written many times over, and it's on the sign on the wall. Like, you're going to the laundry room, and back in the day, this happened. And then she's just play acting like, I get a sense that there's a bald man with beady eyes. So
there's
Leon
no control over these stories. She can't go in and not know. It's like when you pick a jury for a case that is well known. It's like where you ask them, do you know about this case? And they go, no. Yeah.
I think if you and I were here on this news investigation, we'd be in the background, just bullshit. Anyways, so when she said that she got this impression of violence, and that she could sense, I'm getting a sense of a tall man with beady eyes. Beady eyes. Not glowing eyes like the beast, but beady eyes. So Leon, who's the ex-convict that was on the news show with her, said,
That'll be beady eyes.
I remember the butcher.
All right, yes.
The butcher was a tall man
with beady
eyes.
Yes.
He was a hitman with Murder Incorporated, and this is real. This is a guy recounting the story to camera. He was a hitman, and he was caught. His name was A.B. Maldowitz, and people called him the Butcher. And another prisoner killed him in the laundry room. This is what this ex-con is saying. And
killed him with his beady eyes.
Yeah, no. The guy with the beady eyes was the one that was killed.
Oh right.
The butcher was butchered.
So the butcher was butchered.
Correct. So the butcher was the butcher because the butcher was a hitman for the mob, and then he got sent to Alcatraz, and he got
somebody
butched.
else got in. He was fingered.
Gave him a good butching. Yeah. In the laundry room with a steak knife. Yeah, and prison records did confirm that he was indeed killed in cell block C. There's a ton more. It's just, again, I think this is one of these things that, as a tourist attraction, and we hear this about, we're going to go on our tour of Chillingham Castle up by my house, and the tour is just going to be people emphasizing these legends because it's what sells tickets. It's what makes. There's whole things about
this keeps people in business.
Correct. D block, which is the notorious, it's called the treatment unit, which is no contact with general population. Gen pop, like saying.
Do you know what this is all like? Have you seen Shutter Island?
Yes.
I love it, and part of the reason I love it is right, they don't really do much to unsettle you in the the story is great, okay, but when you're walking around, everything about that is your imagination doing all of the work. It's like,
Correct.
Yeah, that's a scary person, that's a scary building, this is a scary cell, and your head does that very easily. And all you need to do is light the fuse, and this is what Alcatraz is. I think Alcatraz is a fuse lit already.
Correct. I mean, yeah, like so some of these, there's some of the cells in D block. This is basically like just solitary confinement type stuff. No sinks, no toilets, a small hole in the floor for waste, blah, blah, blah. Prisoners were stripped naked, restricted diets. So obviously the tour guides are telling these stories as you're being walked through. So sure enough, visitors report cold spots within the hallways, and cells 12 and 14D are the most active, and the temperature's reported to fall 20 degrees. I think it's Fahrenheit. So that's 5-6 degrees Celsius probably. Psychics have felt emotionally charged impressions in the corners. Some park rangers that like that. The tour has, some of us staff refuse to go into these cells and things like that. So, I mean, but it's all, to me, it's one of those things that, and I think we're going to continue to talk about, is if there's a kernel of truth to any of this stuff, it gets very quickly overshadowed, no pun intended, by the bullshit that they pile on top of it.
Yeah, it's very, very easy to just give it enough to let, I guess, without saying explicitly, there are definitely ghosts. All you do is you say, well, there's shadows, and then there was noises and door slamming. Maybe there's a ghost. Like, you've done it all by explaining it all. I agree. I think this is all down to. I don't want to say it's a lot of people being tricksters, because I think the guys at Heol, Fanog, where it was all. They did it themselves. Nobody did it for them to begin with. And it's very easy to say, let's go to an island which looks creepy. I'll tell you a couple of things. And then make your own assumptions. Make your own decisions.
I think there's layers going on. I think, back in the day, again, coming back to trying to give people the benefit of the doubt, which I think sometimes we have to shoehorn this in a little bit into some of these shows, but I think some of the original, early days hauntings, like everything, there's, people do believe it. They do hear things and they think, is it haunted? There's, it was a native, not burial ground, but like where they were banished. So there's evil spirits, and that's the initial story. So then when people hear things and, there's people die, and it's just it's a dark, desolate place. And then you get to the point where it becomes a tourist attraction, and you're going to say, this is just a prison. No, you've got to actually add a layer to make it, it's an isolated prison, and all these bad things happen, and then now it's haunted to make it even more.
Another layer, another onion,
another bullet point in the brochure, I suppose, right?
There's a place,
and then you get people that come. Sorry, and then you get people that now monetize it, and I'm a celebrity ghost hunter, or there's the ghost tours and things like that. Now, whether or not there is ghosts, I mean, you can do a tour for $20. Or you can do the nighttime ghost tour for $50, that kind of thing. Listen, we're not here to say, if that's what people got to do to make money. I mean, sure, that's fine. It's not for us to say, but it obscures any potential truth. And I use truth very loosely because it infers that we believe, but you know what I mean?
If you go to any prison that has a dark past, all you need to do is explain the story about the reason why it's been described this way, and fantastic, that's all you need. I think that something like Alcatraz, which relies on this income, it's not just a little, a village I think a town prison which probably receives something like 10,000 people every year. Alcatraz is trying to make as much money as possible. And you've got to give them, for those people who like this, and then we can add something else on. Ghosts. It's easy. It's really easy. And it's fun. I want it that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it's I think that just makes it. What I said earlier, there's no control. There's no somebody in charge saying, this is the experiment without any clues. This is a bunch of clues. Who sees the ghost? It can't be done like that because all the information's done. And I don't think there's a problem in it. It's when those psychics get involved that steal money off people. Mm-hmm. That's my biggest problem. But you could show me a picture of Alcatraz and I'd go, yep, that's creepy.
Yep, exactly.
Because it's that way on. What I was doing earlier was I was looking at some of the photographs that were taken in there, and there are some where it's like, oh yeah, I can see something there, but I don't know what's been tampered with. But it is a fascinating place. It really is.
It's got the lore to it, and it's a cool place. It's got such it's a character unto itself, I suppose.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, and it's a good thing. It's a good thing. I think there's something about that place because of it being, what did we say? It was unescapable or inescapable or not escapable. Whatever the correct grammar is, that it already sets it up brilliantly. Mm-hmm. And then the everything else about it. I did. So by the way, earlier on we said about the Mythbusters. It's like that what episode wasn't about ghosts, and I think that with all the myths and where you're busting the stuff, ghosts still can be a thing on the island without the debunking. But I've not seen anything or heard anything from you just now that says definitely. Mm-hmm. Or it even makes me suspicious. The banjo? That's rubbish.
No, of course. Yeah. You know, these all seem to boil down to temperature changes and bad electricals. That's
Yeah, and also remember, it's a place which you're not allowed to inhabit anymore because it's not particularly safe. So there's things creaking and dropping and clanging all over the place.
Correct. So, you're not going to get the haunted, Dunelm soft cushions and rug store brightly lit.
But you are going to get a haunted Alcatraz.
Yes. Creepy, isolated, just like my heart. Yeah. Right.
Oh, good. Well, that was a big location today then. Nice one. Yeah, okay.
Wales and San Francisco. Two places synonymous. Twinned
by the ghosts.
By the ghosts of things. Or not, apparently.
Yeah. Right.
That's it? Yeah.
That is done for us today. And I have one story in the bank next week. I think I'm going to do it. And just purely coincidental, it's in Florida.
Wow. Interesting. I won't choose a Florida story. I'm looking forward to it. Let's let these guys go.
Yeah.
Let's let them make their own minds up, and if ghosts exist.
Yeah.
Brush your ghosts.
Right. Brush your comb your hair. Comb the ghost's hair.
Right, everybody. Enjoy your day, your week, your year. If you're going to take a year off, we'll see you next year. If you're going to come back in next episode right away, then we'll see you in a few minutes.
Ta-ra!
That too. Bye-bye.